cells,
Okay.
which are made from renewable sources like biomass.
Oh, wow.
And they have the potential to significantly reduce the carbon footprint of flying.
So maybe one day we'll be able to fly without worrying so much about the environmental impact.
That's the goal.
That would be amazing.
It would, and we can't just focus on individual vehicles.
What else should we be focusing on?
Well, these sources also talk about sustainable urban planning
Okay.
and the concept of smart cities.
I've always been fascinated by the idea of smart cities. Using data and technology to make our cities more efficient
Yeah.
and more livable sounds like something out of science fiction.
It does, but it's becoming a reality.
Really?
Smart cities use technology to optimize things like traffic flow,
Yeah.
waste management, energy use.
It's about using the best of what technology has to offer
Mhm.
to create a better future for everyone.
Absolutely. And all of these incredible technologies,
Yeah.
they're all powered by a skilled workforce.
Right.
We need people to design,
Yeah.
build, install, and maintain these green innovations.
And that's where the concept of green skills comes in. We
Exactly.
touched on this a bit earlier,
Yeah,
but it's worth emphasizing
it is.
that the demand for these green skills is only going to grow
It is.
as we transition to a more sustainable economy.
Absolutely. And it's not just about technical skills.
What else is there?
Well, these sources highlight the importance of understanding sustainability principles
Okay.
and being able to apply them in different contexts.
So it's not just for engineers and scientists.
Right. There are so many ways to contribute to the green economy.
Like what?
Well, you could work in finance helping to fund green projects,
Okay.
or in marketing promoting sustainable products and services.
Yeah, there's a place for everybody in this movement.
There is, and the sources emphasize education and training programs
Okay.
to equip people with these green skills.
Right.
It's encouraging to see universities and vocational schools offering courses
Yeah.
in areas like renewable energy,
Yeah.
sustainable agriculture,
Uh-huh.
and green building practices.
Like we're creating a whole generation of sustainability
we
professionals.
all are.
But this brings up a really important point.
Okay.
How do we make sure everyone has access to these opportunities?
That's crucial.
Yeah.
These sources talk about the importance of equitable access to green skills training
Yeah.
and job opportunities.
Right.
We need to make sure that no one is left behind
Yeah.
as we transition to a more sustainable economy.
It needs to be sustainable for everyone.
Exactly. It's not just about protecting the planet.
It's about social justice.
It is.
It's about creating a world where everyone can thrive,
That's the role.
not just a select few.
A sustainable future for everyone.
This has been an incredible journey so far,
It has.
and we've only scratched the surface.
I know.
In Part 3, we'll shift our focus to understanding the role of governments and institutions in promoting sustainability,
Okay.
and we'll explore those exciting possibilities of AI in tackling those big environmental challenges.
Sounds good.
Stay with us. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into green skills and sustainability. We've talked about the urgency of action, the power of individual choices, the amazing world of green tech. But now I'm curious, what role do governments and institutions play in this whole global shift towards sustainability?
Well, that's a great question, and it's something these sources really dive into. It's clear that governments and institutions have a crucial role to play, and it goes way beyond just setting targets or passing laws. It's about creating an environment where sustainability can thrive.
Okay, so how do they actually do now?
Well, one of the most important things is creating legislation and policy frameworks that incentivize sustainable practices.
Okay, so give me an example.
Well, think about things like carbon taxes, putting a price on pollution, or renewable energy mandates requiring a certain percentage of energy to come from renewable sources. These policies help level the playing field and encourage businesses to adopt greener practices.
So it's about setting the rules of the game in a way that encourages everyone to play by the same sustainability standards.
Exactly, but it's not just about setting rules. Governments can also provide funding and support for research and development of these green technologies. This is essential for driving innovation and bringing down the cost of things like solar panels, wind turbines, and energy-efficient building materials.
Right, it's like investing in the seeds of a sustainable future.
I like that analogy. And speaking of seeds, education and public awareness is another area where governments and institutions can make a huge difference. They can integrate sustainability into school curricula, launch public awareness campaigns, and support training programs to equip people with those green skills they need.
It always comes back to knowledge, doesn't it?
It does. The more people understand about sustainability, the more likely they are to make choices that support it.
So true.
And beyond education, governments and institutions can invest in sustainable infrastructure.
What do you mean by that?
Well, think about things like expanding public transportation networks, building green buildings, or creating more parks and green spaces in cities.
It's about creating a world that's not just sustainable, but also more livable and enjoyable.
Exactly, and we can't forget about the global nature of this challenge. The sources highlight the importance of international cooperation. Climate change is a global issue that requires global solutions. Governments and institutions need to work together, share knowledge, coordinate policies, and provide financial assistance to developing countries.
Because we're all in this together, right? We all share the same planet.
Exactly. These sources drive home the point that sustainability isn't just about protecting the environment, it's about creating a more just and equitable world. And that brings us to a crucial concept: environmental justice. It's the idea that everyone deserves equal access to a clean and healthy environment regardless of race, income, or location.
That seems so obvious, but it's not always the reality, is it?
It's not, unfortunately. Historically marginalized communities often bear a disproportionate burden of environmental harm. Governments and institutions have a responsibility to address these inequalities and ensure that everyone benefits from a sustainable future.
It's about creating a world where everyone can thrive, not just a select few.
You said it perfectly, and these sources emphasize that achieving this vision of a just and sustainable future requires a pretty fundamental shift in our mindset. It's not just about tweaking our current systems, it's about rethinking our entire relationship with the planet and with each other.
It's about moving away from a mindset of extraction and consumption and embracing a mindset of regeneration and stewardship.
Exactly, and this shift in mindset needs to be fueled by innovation and collaboration. We need to be open to new ideas, working across disciplines, partnering with communities and stakeholders to find solutions that actually work for everyone.
We need to recognize that we're all interconnected and that our actions have ripple effects. What we do today shapes the world of tomorrow.
Such an important point, and I think that's a great place to leave our listeners with this thought. How can each of us use our unique skills and passions to contribute to a more just and sustainable world? What kind of legacy do we want to leave for future generations?
Those are powerful questions. Thanks for guiding us through this deep dive. We've covered so much, from the science of climate change to the power of individual action, from cutting-edge green technologies to the importance of social justice. I hope our listeners are inspired to learn more, do more, and be part of creating a better future. That's it for this deep dive. See you all next time.